So the CIA, also known as the Central Intelligence Agency, tried to recruit me. Before I tell you what happened, I want you to know two things. The only other person who knows about this story is my wife, Rachel. If you're watching this, you're one of the first few people to hear it next. This is the first time I'm sharing this story out publicly. Secondly, what I want you to know is everything I'm about to share is 100% true. Every single part of it. We have not fabricated any part of the story. It is true and it happened. Okay, before I share the story with you, be patient. I want to thank the sponsors of this video, Surfshark VPN. Fam, you know I'm from Malaysia, right? And when I go online sometimes to try to access certain things, I face challenges.
So with a VPN, which is a virtual private network, you can actually switch location based on where you want access from. So for example, I can access a server from another country in order to effectively change my location.
For example, I had issues with the Maybank CEO online service and also the MySejahtera app because I'm on an American IP address. Surfshark VPN have saved me so many times because it not only masks my IP address, but I can choose the server from a specific country. So I just picked a Malaysian IP address and boom, it worked perfectly. Did I mention I also now get a lot of Malay songs on my Apple Music?
So you should get started with protecting your online privacy with Surfshark VPN. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee policy, so you have nothing to lose. Feel free to use our promo code KUMARFAM for an extra 83% off, as well as 3 extra months free.
That's right, not 80%, but 83% off, alright? But don't worry, I'll leave all the details in the description box below so you can go and check it out right now. Okay, so here's what happened. Back in November of 2016, I was working for a company called Galileo. I was at their warehouse and I get this random call from someone. I pick up the phone and there was this girl saying like, "Hi, I'm calling from," it's kind of mumbled. Do you have some time? I was like, "Yes, give me a moment." I walked out of my building. I said, "Hello, could you repeat yourself please?" And she said, "Hi, I am so-and-so. I am from the CIA, which is the Central Intelligence Agency. We're trying to recruit you for the position of Operations Officer." I was like, "What now?"
Immediately, this is a scam, this is something wrong here.
There's something wrong. I thought it was definitely a prank call, whatever, right? So, but I was like, let's humor them. So I kept listening. "Okay, tell me more about it." "Yeah, I'm interested. Tell me more about it." And she's like, "The role is, a clandestinely, you'll be positioned in some, very high level information about this role," which a lot of it didn't make sense to me at that time. I was like, sure, okay, CIA Operations Officer, okay. And then she said she wanted to verify a bunch of information. So she said, "I have your resume in front of me. Are you from Malaysia?" I'm like, "Yes." "Do you have X number of years of experience in this?" I was like, "Yes." Like, this girl did her homework. She knew so much about me. I was like, everything was like a yes.
So creepy.
Super creepy, right? But at the very end, she was like, "Okay, I'm going to set you," this was a very successful phone screen. "We want to set you up for a phone interview. But before that, I need to tell you, you are not to tell anybody about this. Not even your family, not your wife." And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And then she also said, "Do not use your laptop, your handphone, or anything to access the CIA's website to look up information about this job." This girl is telling me don't tell anybody and don't look up information about it. I was like, what is going on?
Those are your first 2 instincts.
Yeah, that's the 2 things I wanted to do. But the reason she gave us, it's because if and when I do get hired, this could compromise my position in the future, being in the CIA. So she's saying this is to protect yourself. I was like, okay. And then she just hung up. Fam, that wait was painful. For days, I was like, I couldn't tell anybody. I couldn't look up the information if it was real. So I just waited and tried my best to be patient. Finally, the day arrived of the interview. I sat in a room, waited for that phone call. My phone started ringing. I answered. And it was another person on the other end. She said, "Hi, I'm from the CIA. I'm here to conduct your interview." And I was like, let's go. I'm ready. This is happening. Okay, so she asked me so many questions. It was an hour-long interview, and she spent almost every second of it asking me, almost interrogating me. Asked me really intense questions about my personal life, my personal history, my background, everything. So I answered everything the best I could. And one thing I remember, she started telling me a little bit more about the role. She said, this role, it's not a dangerous role. You're not going to be put in any harm's way and all that. But the goal of this role, I wrote this down. The goal of this role was, the mission is to strengthen national security and foreign policy objectives through the clandestine collection of human intelligence and covert action.
What does that mean?
Those words scared the crap out of me. I was like, what am I getting myself into, right? So anyway, so interviews end. At the end of the interview, she finally said this. She said, you are now okay to you can now share this with your wife. You can talk to her about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful about that.
Because like we share everything with each other. We don't keep secrets. We're an open book with one another. So like that must have been eating you alive.
Oh yeah, it was. But she did say that do not share with anyone else. She said there will be a place and time for other people, but not right now. I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
But at the very end of the call, she said this. She's like, okay, now as the next step, we want to send you on an assignment. I was like, okay, what is it? And she said, you are still not to access any of this information using your personal laptop or personal devices. We want you to drive to a library that's really close to your house. She gave me a website. She said, go into the website and access this portal. She gave me like a code and all that. And she said that all your information and the application for this role, the details of it will be there. Study it thoroughly and we'll contact you after that.
It's like super spy stuff.
That's exactly, I was like, what is happening? And in my mind, I was like, they can totally see if I'm accessing in my laptop right now. They know everything. All right, so after that interview, I was like, I need to tell Rachel. So I find some time alone in the car, just like this, in this car.
In this car, yeah.
In this car, I tell Rachel.
And I think I said, "Are you serious?" like 20 times in a row because it just seemed so outlandish and crazy. But he's not one to make things up like this.
No.
So it just was very confusing and crazy at the same time.
Yeah. And so I know the next thing is the assignment, right? Mm-hmm. And so I tell Rachel, hey, I don't know if we're going to make it or not. I don't know if you'll ever see me again, but I got to do this by myself. I told her, you stay at home. I went to the library. And this is the last check, right? If it all checks out, this is real. This is legit. And so I go to the library. I put in that website. I put in the code, everything. My whole profile showed up. All the details about the role. I started taking down notes. And I still have the notes from that day. So you can see here, this is the paper. These are like papers from the public library.
So like the scrap paper you
The
took
scrap
from them?
paper, yeah. And all the notes that I wrote. But basically it had all the details about the role. It had things like, it says that it's not a war zone. What the level, it's a GSI GS15.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I need like security clearance. I need some top security clearance. All this like really intense details about it. And I was like, fam, this is real. Like I'm joining the CIA. Like that's happening.
God.
So after that, I was like, okay, assignment done. I took down all the details. I was waiting for that phone call. Eventually that phone call came. Again while I was at work. So I talked to the girl and she's like, the next step, have you completed the assignment? That's how she spoke to me. I'm not making this up. She's like, have you completed the assignment? I was like, yes. I went there. I took down notes. I read all the profile. Everything is good. She's like, okay, are you ready to move forward? I said, yes. Let's go. And she said, okay, let me share with you like full details about the role, like really more important details. And she started telling me about the next steps. The next steps basically is there's going to be a hiring panel, so they're going to be calling me and they'll be mailing me an application packet after that, right? That was the next step. But one thing I failed to tell the person on the phone was that we were about to travel to Malaysia for almost a month, like 2 weeks after that phone call, right? And so we go to Malaysia, we come back, I don't hear anything from them. And obviously, while in Malaysia, my phone is like disconnected, I don't get any calls, texts, nothing. I come back, I hear nothing from them. I have no way to contact them back. I never got a mail packet because my resume, our old address was on my resume. And maybe the packet got mailed to the other address. I don't know.
But we had no way of checking that address.
No way to track it. And so the next thing I did was I went back to the library. I logged in back to this portal to check if there's anything there. There was nothing. Nothing additional. The same information is there. So I just don't know what happened, right? And so I left it as it is. A month passed by, 2 months, 3, 4. It went on. I never heard back from them again. So the question still remains till today. I don't know if they tried to contact me while we were in Malaysia or not. Because if they did, today I could be working in the CIA and you would not be hearing the story. So I don't know. I just don't know. What do you guys think? What theories do you have about this story? It felt so real, so creepy, kind of scary, but also a little exciting at the same time. So that's story time from the Kumars. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in today. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done it. We hope to see you in the next video, right?
Bye.